at Strongman Personal Finance. I'm Christopher Bale, certified public accountant, long-term boglehead investor. Jeremy, what's that? Author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser, and hater of the total fraud, clown, clueless idiot, Jeremy LaFufu, also known as Financial Education. Now, I've made a ton of videos about Jeremy recently, and I'm almost done with him, but the whole purpose of my channel is to expose total degenerate frauds on YouTube that pretend like they can beat the market and they're geniuses and you just have to give them all your money and subscribe to them if you want to just get rich in 5 seconds. Now, Jeremy has talked about his Tesla investment over and over and over again. And I found what I think to be one of his oldest videos. Well, okay, I lied. Somebody found it for me. I found one of his oldest videos where he gives his justification for why he bought Tesla stock. And I'm going to show you that he's just a gambling clown. He is not a genius investor. And on top of that, I want you to listen closely, I'll give commentary, to what he says throughout the video. And compare what he says about himself then to what he does now. Let's go.
Tesla stock here today. I just bought over $18,000 worth of Tesla stock here today, all right? And there are going to be a ton of questions with this one. I'm going to answer all of those after. We'll get into all those questions that you guys have. And so I basically bought for over $18,000 worth, 58 shares in total, and the cost basis on that one's $321.98 here on the Tesla. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what we're at as far as cost basis and whatnot. Over $18,000 worth. So why Tesla? No profits. Why so little money in it? How long will I be willing to hold for? Why not buy in chunks? Usually I buy in $2,000 to $5,000 chunks. Like why just $18,000 plus all in one day? Will you add more shares? And the last one is what's my risk versus reward? Like what's my potential upside in the stock? What's my potential downside? So we'll get into all that. First off, why Tesla? This is probably the simplest. I believe they're disrupting two industries. I've always believed they're completely disrupting the auto industry. The internal combustion engine, obviously moving to electric vehicles, and then not just on top of that, but then you talk about autonomous driving. There's a massive change going on in the auto sector that is going to play out over the next 5 to 10 years, and they're in the forefront of that, all right? But also, I believe this is a company completely disrupting the energy industry. It's just going to take a little longer for that one to play out. That's more like a 7 to 12 year play, rather than the autos is like over the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see a mass adoption of Tesla EVs, probably millions of units per year they're going to start producing, all right?
All right, that's his justification right there. Disruption, future, 5 to 10, 12, 15, 20 years, I don't know. You know, a lot of people probably said that during the dot-com bubble. That's his logic. Now let's listen to the next thing. No profits.
No profits. You guys know I don't buy companies that don't make profits, okay? So
I don't buy companies that don't make profits. Jeremy, that is a very, very interesting statement because I've noticed recently with all your trash stock picks, Smile Direct Club, Tattooed Nutsack, you seem to buy a lot of speculative companies that don't have any profits. What happened, Jeremy? You almost sound like a value investor back in the day. Now I don't know what you are.
Here's my view on things. Everyone can own a spec stock in their portfolio, okay? My spec stock is going to be Tesla. I do not.
His spec stock, notice he's not saying his high conviction investment that he totally predicted was going to 20,000 trillion X in a massive, insane bull market with a bunch of fanboys buying it. Spec stock. He just gambled and he got lucky. Keep that in mind.
Not own a spec stock as of right now. I want to own a spec stock. Spec stocks can be fun in the sense of it gives you some type of way you can make a lot of money. It kind of keeps things interesting, okay? So a lot of times we can be in very boring companies, all right? A lot of value companies, you guys know I'm more of a value investor than growth investor. So a lot of the
I'm more of a value investor than a growth investor? Jeremy, all the stocks you buy are future growth companies, okay? Where did this change happen? I'm watching this video, and you used to not like companies that didn't have profits. You had small speculative investments, which is fine. And you're a value investor, and now you're just totally different. What happened, Jeremy? It's almost like you're a little chameleon that changes his investment philosophy based on what happens to one or two stonks in your portfolio. You dirty, stinky liar.
Companies I'm in are pretty boring companies at the end of the day. They're you know, expanding their businesses maybe 5-10% or so a year, but they're just kind of boring businesses at the end of the day. The specs.
Jeremy, what is going on here? Boring businesses? Slow growth? Profits? You sound like a value investor. Well, you used to. And then you speculated, and you clearly said it on this video. No, I didn't. I knew it was going to 20,000x. Right! You speculated on Tesla. Tesla massively exploded. And now you're suddenly a genius. And it's just really hilarious to me that, you know, you think you're so smart and you're grifting on so many people because of one spec stock when you betrayed your old self, a value investor. It's freaking gross. You're a sellout.
Stock gives you the upside of, wow, this could be a massive company someday, but it also gives you more risk, all right? So the reason I bought it in a spec stock, is anything goes. If you're going to buy a spec stock, anything goes with a spec stock, okay? Doesn't really matter about balance sheet. Doesn't really matter about, you know, the PE ratio or no PE ratio. A spec.
What about the income statement?
Stock is a spec stock. The issue I have is when people end up making spec stocks their biggest positions. That's crazy in my opinion. If you're going out there and you're buying some speculative company that has no profits coming in and you're making that your biggest position or even close to one of your biggest positions, in my opinion, that is crazy, okay?
Isn't Tesla your biggest position, Jeremy? Isn't your buddy Meet Kevin, you know, your close friend? Doesn't he have like 50% of his portfolio in Tesla? Jeremy, does anybody that's watching this not realize how much he's changed his tune? Compare what he does now. Speculative growth stocks, no profits, it's the future, bro. YOLO, basically. And your research is just forward PE. Compare that to what he's saying in this old video from, what, 2018? Jeremy, I don't get it, bro.
That's crazy in my personal opinion, all right? Why did I put so little money in? It's only $18,000. The reason I put a small amount of money is because this is a spec stock, okay? So
it's a spec stock.
Being a spec stock, and by the way, I would say it's better than most spec stocks out there in the sense of this one actually has tons of demand. It has you know, tens of billions of dollars of revenue and whatnot. So it's much less speculative than a lot of people's spec stocks, right? But in my opinion, I don't want to risk the farm with this company, okay? Do I believe they're going to do huge things in the future? Yes. Do I believe they're going to be massively profitable in the future? Yes. Do I believe they're going to be one of the 10 most important companies in the entire world 10 years from now? Yes. But at the same time, as of right now, this is a company that has historically taken massive losses. That would put it into a speculative category. So which means I don't want to...
Wow, Jeremy. Wow. I like the old you a lot better. I don't know what happened to you, buddy-o.
Risk a lot of money, okay, which is why I only put a little over $18,000 in the stock. I don't want to risk the farm in this one, even though it does have a huge upside. At the same time, what if this company goes bankrupt or something like that? Like, what if they can't get to a place where they're profitable? All those are possibilities that you got to take into account when you're investing. So, which is why I only stuck that amount of money in it. Okay. How long am I planning to hold this stock? I would say at least 5 to 10 years. I do not see myself, regardless how much it goes up, down, anything. This is a stock I plan on holding for a long, long period of time. All right. When you buy a spec stock like this that has massive upside potential, you've got to be willing to go through the downs and ups. So if this stock was to go to $200, if this stock was to go to, you know, $1,000, it doesn't matter. I'm not selling.
Jeremy, you need to sell this freaking stock, bro. This stock is massively overvalued. You know that deep down inside, and I know that because I'm not a freaking moron. But of course, there's always going to be more gains until there's not. Whatever, bro.
The stock regardless, okay? This is a long-term hold for me. Most stocks, when I get into them, I'm kind of thinking like 2 to 5 years. I'll take this one of the great back, and it was looking like an investment. But some people just stock I hold currently in my portfolio, so that's saying something. Number 5, why not buy in chunks? So usually I buy in $2,000 to $5,000 chunks. When I usually add shares of a stock. I don't invest, you know, 5 figures plus all in a stock in one day like we did here, okay? The reason I did it is just because this is a freak situation. It's a spec stock. I just want to buy in my position in this one. I don't care about doing anything else with this stock. I just want to buy in my position and hold it for the next 5 to 10 years. It's almost like one of those stocks they call you put in the filing cabinet type stock, okay? Where you buy it, you don't care about the stock price, where the stock price goes. goes in the short term, you put it in the filing cabinet, you try not to look at it, and you close your eyes, and in 5 to 10 years, and we'll see where we're at with that stock. That's how I'm treating this one, so which is why I didn't buy in chunks. I just bought 18,000 all at once, and it is what it is. All right. Number 6, will you add more shares? No, I have no plans to add.
No, Jeremy. That's very interesting, because if I look, 2 years, so the video we're watching was 3 years ago. 2 years ago, I just bought $10,495 of Tesla stock. Another video, I just bought $10,836. I just bought $4,293 of Tesla stock. Jeremy, I thought this was a spec stock, but instead you got wrapped up in the FOMO because the stock went up, so you went ahead and bought more, even though you said you weren't going to. You are so full of crap, Jeremy. You are such a degenerate gambler, and you literally have no idea what you're freaking doing. And you're a liar. Obviously. No, I'm not going to buy anymore. Anyway, let's keep watching.
Adding more shares. I don't care if it goes down to $200. I don't care if it goes up to $500 and they got some huge new thing going on. I plan on adding no more new shares. So usually when I buy into a company, I buy a small chunk, okay? This is how I usually do it. I buy a small chunk in that company. I kind of hope it goes down because I would like to buy more for even cheaper prices. If it stays around the same or goes down a little bit, I'd probably buy more and more and more until I get a big position built, okay? With this stock, I do not plan on doing that. So regardless if it goes up, down, I don't care. Like, this is my position. I built my position in Tesla. I bought it today, and it's just holding for the next 5.
Do you guys not see what a freaking fraud this clown degenerate moron is? Oh, I'm a value investor. Oh, I buy a bunch of boring companies that grow 7 to 10%. I like companies with profits. And then all of a sudden, Tesla goes up. Probably had a bunch of subscribers because he was so smart. He just knew the future. He wasn't speculating. He just bought Tesla. And then he probably got a bunch of subscribers. And then he basically played to the algorithm where he decided to start investing like a gambling degenerate maniac just to get more subscribers and to funnel more people into his scummy business where he charges up to $20,000 for, I don't even know what, some tutoring or coaching. It's a freaking scam. Don't listen to this idiot. Max your tax advantage accounts. Buy Total World Stock Market Index funds, or VTI if you don't like America, or if you don't like international. And don't pay idiots like this a dime, because they will screw you in the long run, as all active managers do. He's not a genius. He's a freaking gambling moron. Anyway, that's it. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about me, and you'll have a wonderful, delicious, superstitious, cockalicious day.